Okay, so today I'm gonna be breaking down Kava. Kava has become super popular in the last couple years, but really it's been in the United States since kind of the 1990s, but it's also been used across the world, specifically Southeast Asia, for a very, very long time. So let's break down the science. The major component that we know affects the brain is Kava lactones. Now, how exactly this works, don't believe anybody's bullshit. We don't actually know yet. There have been quite a few studies, but not enough that are really rigorous and we can have really firm research about how exactly this works. But there is some really good theories about how GABA interacts differently with your brain than how benzodiazepines do. So, benzodiazepines, like Klonopin, some other drugs that can help decrease anxiety. If we take something like Kava that can affect your GABA, that then can do the same thing, can decrease anxiety, we seem to get very similar effects, but obviously much weaker. You're not gonna be exactly like taking a prescription medicine, but it is natural. There doesn't seem to be any very serious side effects. There are some things that we have read about liver toxicity, but also you don't know if that liver toxicity was from just how people were taking it back then. Maybe it wasn't clean or maybe it wasn't the right kind. But now with the widespread use of Kava, we don't seem to be seeing that type of hepatotoxicity, but more research is needed. These Kava lactones, there are different Kava lactones that can affect the brain in different ways. And again, I want to state that there are a lot of people online that will tell you that these different ones have different effects on the brain. They don't actually really know that. The research is pretty minimal. We have good theories, but it's not hard science. So now let me tell you a little bit about my personal take on it. So I've been taking it for about the last 3 weeks. And I will tell you, you can definitely feel a difference. There is somewhere about 45 minutes to an hour after I take it, I feel an elevated mood. I got a little case of the smiles. I'm definitely a little more relaxed. I'm more calm. I would say there almost is some kind of like being high component to it. It's not like smoking pot, but definitely like you can tell you're in a different mind frame than you normally would be. But it's very minimal. Actually, as I'm thinking about it, sometimes maybe it could be like, I know there are times that I've taken really high dose CBD that maybe has like little micro amounts of THC in it. That'll just make you feel a little like woozy, kind of that same feeling. But overall, really nice. I'll tell you that one of the reasons why people have used it a lot is coming off of other drugs, maybe let's say something like heroin, and it's a little nicer transition off. So although I've never been in that position, I could see where things like this could also help, decrease anxiety, decrease stress, give you that elevated mood. I could also see the benefit for taking it in the evenings. So somebody who maybe is a casual alcohol consumer, replacing the alcohol that we know is very toxic for you and adds a ton of calories, has almost no positive benefits whatsoever. Kava could be a very nice replacement. It can relax you, give you that little edge off in the evening while not having all of those negative side effects. So now in conclusion, in totality, I would say the only thing I'm concerned about is anything that you read online, that you watch, whatever, take with a grain of salt. Almost all of the things that I saw were videos or blogs written by a Kava bar or a person who sells Kava or somebody in that industry, which totally makes sense. Obviously, if that's your business, you should promote and go out and go do those things. But don't mistake that that is not hard science. I did not find a lot of really good, rigorous, longitudinal studies that have been done on large population groups and then used as meta-analysis to look at how all of these studies, were they done in the same way? Do we have really good research on it? That is still pretty weak. But I did see that there are going to be some future detailed research on it about how it actually functions in the brain. So again, take all that information online with a grain of salt, but I also highly recommend to give it a try. I think this could be a really beneficial at night relaxation product that could help people get better rest.